We get a ton of questions every single year about growing peppers, and we noticed that a lot of them are pretty beginner level, and so I figured there are probably many other people out there with the same questions, so today I put together 9 beginner pepper questions that you may have been too afraid to ask. Just a reminder, if you've been growing peppers for years and years, many of these questions are going to seem obvious to you. Just try to remember back to when you were a beginner. There are lots of things that are confusing early on in your gardening career, so feel free to hang out and leave some additional knowledge down in the comments for the beginners. So with that, let's start with number 1, which is, why do my pepper seeds take so long to sprout? I definitely remember early on thinking these pepper seeds are just never going to germinate. Other seeds come up in a day or two and the peppers are just sitting there. It's just soil. Where are my plants? But that's completely normal. Peppers are actually some of the slowest seeds to germinate in the vegetable garden. So a typical time to germination from planting to sprouting is about 7 to 10 days. And it really depends on the age of the seed and the conditions that you have those seeds in for germination. I won't go too much into germination here, but a little bit of warmth can definitely help. And getting really fresh pepper seeds makes a huge difference. The next question is, can I reuse potting soil to start pepper seeds, or is that a bad idea? You can definitely reuse potting soil, and we do it every year with our outdoor plants. You can just re-amend that soil with some fertilizer, reinvigorating it, and you can reuse it for years and years. But if you want to start your seeds indoors, I would use some caution with reusing potting soil, especially if it's coming in from outside. The main risk here is bringing pests in with that soil. So you might want to treat the soil by pouring some boiling water over it, mix it up really well. This should kill off any eggs or pests that are living in that soil, allow it to come down to room temperature after, and then you can plant your seeds in it. The next one is a tough one, and I would say this might actually be a little more intermediate than beginner, but some people do choose to use grow lights early on, and the question is, how close should the grow lights actually be to the plants? It's tough to answer this in one sentence because it depends on the grow light that you're using. A lot of grow lights these days are LEDs, and these need to be a bit farther away from the plants. Usually we'll start our 100 watt LED lights about 15 to 18 inches above the leaves of our plants. That's usually a pretty safe distance to start for LEDs, but if you have a weaker light or maybe you're using fluorescent bulbs, they may need to be a lot closer. And the main thing to look out for is if the plants are stretching tall and they look very weak and thin and spindly, your lights probably need to be closer. But if they're starting to curl and they're short and they look like they're stressed out, there's a chance that your lights are too close, so you could reduce the intensity or back the lights up a little bit until you find a nice medium. The next question is a really good one. I think it's really important. When should I fertilize pepper seedlings and with what strength? So I don't want to talk about the type of fertilizer here. I'll just talk about when to feed your plants, and it's pretty basic. As soon as your pepper plant is alive and growing, in other words, once it sprouts and it's green and you see leaves, it needs food. Now, when they're tiny, they will use less fertilizer on a volume basis than a larger plant will over time. So every day, those tiny seedlings will only use a microscopic amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, whereas a big bushy pepper plant later in the season will be using a lot more fertilizer, but they both need fertilizer or nutrients to grow. So with that in mind, you do need to fertilize right away, and a lot of potting soils or seed starter mixes will have some nutrients built right into the soil. So from the day of planting, you don't usually need to worry about applying any fertilizer. But if you want to be safe and make sure your plants have what they need, you can start fertilizing right away as soon as the plants sprout. Just apply a standard dose of fertilizer. And from early on, you don't need to fertilize as frequently, again, because the plants aren't using as much fertilizer. But after maybe a month or so of growth and the plants are starting to accelerate and get larger more quickly, they'll be using more fertilizer, and you can develop a more structured feeding regimen from there. Fertilizer can get complicated. We do have a video all about fertilizing peppers. If that happens to be the question most on your mind today, I'll leave a link to it down below. Okay, so the next question is, do I have to plant in small containers? This is a great question because I remember thinking this early on. Everyone recommends planting pepper seeds in those tiny 6-cell trays, and that is what we do to this day, but you definitely don't have to plant in smaller containers. And by planting in a larger one, maybe say a 3-inch container or even a 4-inch container, planting your seeds right in there can save you the step of moving those tiny seed cells into larger containers and then into more larger containers later on, it can save you that messy step of transplanting by planting in bigger pots from the beginning. The main reason that we plant in smaller containers is because we're growing dozens and dozens of peppers, and at the time of planting, all of our plants are only taking up maybe 1 or 2 square feet of space indoors, whereas if we planted them in larger containers, that would take up a much larger area, requiring more grow light power from a very early age. So that's why we transplant. But if you only have a handful of peppers, maybe 6 or fewer, maybe even a dozen, you could plant them in 3 or 4 inch containers, and that's a perfectly good way to start. Okay, the next question is, how late is too late for planting seeds? Most peppers need at least 5 months from seed all the way to ripening and harvest. So this is a really good thing to know from the beginning. Most peppers need about that much time. Some of them need a bit longer, like super hots and ghost peppers, and other earlier varieties, and some that don't need to be ripe to harvest will need a little bit less. But generally speaking, you really want to allot 5 full months of growth from the planting date to harvest. So how can we use this to find out the latest we should possibly plant our peppers? Well, first you'll need to know what your first fall frost date is. That's the average date during the year in the fall when it first freezes, and that's when your peppers would die to cold outside. For us, our first fall frost happens around mid-October, so say October 15th or so. So if you back up 5 months from there, you end up with May 15th, and that's usually around the last time I would recommend planting seeds in our location. It'll definitely differ for you, whether you're in a much warmer climate and you can wait even longer because it doesn't freeze until much later, or if you're in a colder climate, you may need to plant much earlier to make sure you get a full season for your plants. With that said, we usually don't cut it that close with planting our pepper seeds. We usually plant at least a few weeks before that, typically in early to mid-April, giving ourselves an extra month of buffer room to get more peppers earlier and potentially multiple harvests. If you're past that safe window to plant seeds, doesn't mean you can't grow peppers. You can still buy some transplants from the store, or you can even buy transplants online from places like chiliplants.com. Okay, question number 7 is, when can pepper seedlings safely go outside in the spring? This is a similar question to the last one, but sort of on the other side of things in the spring. So you have to wait until all of the danger of frost has passed in the spring. And to know when this typically happens, you have something called a last frost date. So this is when the final frost typically happens on average. So for us, this typically happens in mid to late April. And you don't want to put your plants outside right at the last frost date. At this time, you usually want to take a look at the weather in your area, pay close attention, and it's typically 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks after our last frost date when we consider it safe to move our peppers outside permanently. The reason we wait is peppers like warm temperatures, and if the soil isn't properly warmed up and you try to transplant your peppers outside, even if it doesn't freeze, that colder soil is going to make it really hard for those plants to transition. They may become stunted, they may not grow much anyway, so you may as well have just left them indoors in the warmth until it was truly warm enough outside for them to thrive. Another marker you can look for is we typically recommend above 55 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. This isn't super strict, and if you live in a colder climate, some places don't go above 55 overnight for the whole season. So obviously you'll have to figure things out for your particular climate, but that can be a good benchmark to shoot for. Okay, 2 more questions. Next one is, can I grow peppers indoors all the way to harvest? Absolutely you can. We've done this many times. It's definitely a bit more of a challenge than growing outdoors because you have to control everything and make sure that it's not getting too dry and it's not getting overly humid. It's not too cold for the plants. And ideally you have a little bit of temperature fluctuation between daytime and nighttime. It's better to have it get a little bit cooler overnight. And of course you'll need to provide supplementary light for your plants if you want to get any reasonable harvest. You can't really rely on window light. You will need a grow light to make that happen. We have an article all about growing peppers indoors if you're interested, where you can find all the things that you'll need to get started and a nice guide from there. Okay, the last question, and this is a pretty good one. I've gotten this one many, many times, and I think there might be some people who are a bit more advanced who still wonder this, and that is, why do my plants have purple stems, and is that a problem? So, purple coloration on peppers is completely normal in a lot of cases. There are very rare cases where you'll have a nutrient deficiency, but I'm going to talk about what is almost always the case, And that is that many pepper plants have some level of anthocyanins, which are basically a purple pigment. Now, some parts of the plants will have a higher concentration of this compound, and you'll see it typically where the nodes are, or the intersection between two branches. Even on bell peppers or other plants that don't have purple peppers or purple foliage, you'll see this purple coloration, especially around the nodes. Now, anthocyanins are activated by light, so you'll see this if you have your plants in a nice sunny spot, which you should. It will be more apparent, and it also might show up in other parts of the plants like the leaves or also the peppers themselves. Any pepper that starts out a lighter color, banana peppers are a great example because they start off sort of a light pale green and then go a bit yellow before ripening to red. In that yellow and greenish stage, if the peppers themselves are exposed to direct sunlight, you may see some purple streaks on the peppers, and this is essentially the same phenomenon. This is nothing to be concerned about, especially on the branches. It's very common. So I hope this video helps you find success with your peppers this season. Let me know if you have any other additional questions down in the comments below. We'd be happy to do a video like this again in the future if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching Pepper Geek, and I'll see you next time.